Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019, Stage Racer episode number 80. This is the second part of La Vuelta España, final day of August, and we're all the way up to Stage 8 now, from where we left off. We had a couple more punchy, quote-unquote punchy stages that really weren't, but in the quick sim of those, I gained a few seconds, just as a good punchy rider compared to some of the others. We also quick simmed a couple of flat sprint stages, and that brings us now up to stage number 8. Currently in 15th place, but of course there are still a number, at least 10, of the original stage 2 breakaway riders that had that 4 or 5 minute gap at the end of the stage. Ineos, that was a really smart move on their part in kind of sitting back and allowing those breakaway riders to take the jersey off their back. Otherwise, they'd have the whole race to try to defend it. They didn't lose anything on anyone that mattered. So you can see the top 3 are still all typical breakaway guys. You can also see that I'm still a ways off from the fitness peak, which is a little surprising. Doing the simple math, 3 points a day, I should have already been collecting it, but I think possibly because I'm a higher level now, I'm not picking up 3 points a day like I was before. I need to check into that and see if that is the case, because otherwise I've just forgotten how to do simple math. I wouldn't completely rule that out, but I'm definitely not bad at math, so we'll see. 97% fitness level entering this stage, and big climb at the end. Through the middle part of this stage, not much action should take place. It's certainly not flat from the middle third into the final 10-15%, but not that much climbing to do through there, which means I should be just fine to get to that point. So let me go ahead and skip forward to that final valley, most likely, unless the action really picks up prior to that. Just inside the final 20 kilometers here. 47 in the peloton. Smith, the only one still around, but he's got nothing left. He did just enough. He had just enough energy to at least retrieve some water, so he didn't have to go into this final climb empty-handed. The pace is really hot. We're losing lots of riders out the back without any incline, so just on the flat. And now we turn to actually have some sort of incline. A little gradual here at first, but it will start ramping up quite quickly. 15 kilometers, 1,000 meters worth of climbing. Average is 6.4% on the gradient. We still have a breakaway of 4 riders. It's the same 4 that have been away all day, but we are getting quite close to them. We're inside 1 minute, so they almost certainly will be caught today. And for now, I just sit on. You see, that's Poles, Kwiatkowski working, Yates working, which Yates is working. Simon Yates. It's so weird to see him being the one working, but apparently they're riding for Adam. Toynes is standing still. So we catch up to him. We're down to a single rider away. At the front is Rafael Micah. We're through the first steep section. Flattens out here for a bit. We have 2 more steeper sections left to go. Right now I'm just kind of sitting on with the group. And as the group thins out, we're actually down to 22 riders already. Even on this mostly flat section, we leave a big group behind, including the race leader. So, race leader out the back, and that will thin that field out which was obvious today that it would. We're going to move up the order quite a bit. We're up to group of 17 now. 40 seconds on Micah Hagita is attacking. He's not one that I'm too worried about long term. So we'll let him take off and go for the stage. He's not somebody I want to cover. I'm not attacking Lopez. Lopez is somebody we want to cover. Little acceleration. No, Landa just working to the front. Back to hold position here. 6.4. Hagita. Looks like Landa's trying to attack. Down to 11. Gonna use our gel. 5.6.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
Froome attacking. Good strategy by Ineos. Yates should be the one chasing him down. Let's see if he will. Haig's attacking. Okay, gel just kicked in. This is my time. I need to attack. There's Micah. We are getting the accelerated red bar, so let's use that. But we want to hang on here. Froome, Hagita off the front. I'm with Haig and Yates. 3K to go. Gel just used up. Long term, I'm less worried about Froome than I am about other riders. So I'll stick with these three. It's 2K to go. They've split apart. It's Froome attacking, going for the stage. 1.8K. We're going to attack this group. 1.3K. Okay, now we go just effort. 800 meters, we're catching up to Hagita. Froome is going to take the stage. 300 meters. We got 40 seconds on the guys behind us. We caught up to Hagita. There might have been a couple second gap there, but third on the stage. Froome and Hagita worry me a lot less than some of the other guys, so today really felt like a win. Adam Yates was the one who came in fourth, so it was Simon working. I didn't see Adams get up there with him, but Simon was putting the work in earlier. Adam Yates takes fourth on the stage, so Movistar clearly ready for him. We definitely opened a gap over him. Jack Haig is there. Gegenhardt putting in a good time. Dumoulin does not seem to be on a fitness peak right now. He's riding more like how he does in real life. He finished 7th on this stage, was never really a factor, but didn't lose much time. Micah, last remnant of the breakaway, takes 8th. Mikel Landa, Lopez coming in 9th and 10th. There's Carapaz down in 11th. McNulty, we should see him just outside of the top 10 or just inside of the top 10 over and over again. Simon Yates putting that effort in, slips to 13th, so he's going to lose a lot of time. Quintana not doing anything. He didn't work, and he didn't hang in there. He finished 16th. Bernal, Poles, and Sivakov, 18, 19, and 20. So apparently, Ineos is riding for Froome. When Froome attacked, I didn't worry about it much. I figured it was more of a tactical thing to send one up the road, force the other teams to do the work. If he gets the stage, great. If he doesn't, okay. But as far back as Bernal pulls and see, but Bernal wasn't working either. So was Froome named the leader for this race, or wasn't he? It's still hard to say at this point. But you gotta wonder, as far back as those guys were. Yes, they did allow Froome to go off and win the stage, but at that point they should have just stayed on like my wheel, or at the very least, Gegenhardt and Dumoulin, they should have been there, not way down the order. So yeah, it makes you wonder, is Froome the actual leader? Is that who they're riding for? I did lose a little time to Froome today, but I think long term I could easily take that back from Froome, meaning we actually have a chance to beat Ineos if it is Froome. Now, real life, Froome is still the best rider in the world, arguably. But in game, we're 4 years on, and he's quite old. For me, that felt like a great result, and I don't mind that Froome won it. Again, if he is going to be the contender, the challenger, then yes, I do have a little bit of time to make up, but I don't mind finishing 9 seconds behind Higuita. It was one and a half bike lengths behind the front of his bike. I was a half bike length between us. It's an awful lot of time for 9 seconds. But time added up quick. Yates, minute 59. I mean, I was right with those guys with, what was that, 1.4 to go or something? 1.8 to go? And left them behind by nearly a minute. So pretty big gaps today. Really surprising. But before the climb, the pace was hot, so there was already some damage into the field. I did that without any sort of fitness peak of any kind. And now, look at that big shake-up. It's Chris Froome in the race lead. Now it's going to force Ineos to do the work. He is their guy now, and I'm all the way up into second place, though I'm a minute and a half behind him, over a minute and a half. That is quite a bit of ground to cover. He's still going to be a good time trialist, I'm sure. Yeah, 78. He's very similar to my number. He's really not that far off from where I'm at in the places that count. So, yeah, he's at 37 now. I think unless he's on a fitness peak, he should be relatively easy to deal with going forward. Higuita's all the way up to third. I don't consider Higuita to be a major challenger, though he'll stay in the top 10. Adam Yates is probably our biggest challenger right now from behind, 40 seconds down. Landa, a minute and a half. Gegenhardt, just 2 seconds off him. Haig, Simon Yates still in the top 10. Dumoulin and Lopez. So now the top 10 are actual contenders. But the gaps are pretty big. I mean, Dumoulin's 4 minutes behind. We've got 2:20 on Dumoulin. I like where we're at. I really do. And like I said, McNulty, I think he'll kind of hang around that position. Micah won't, but he'll get into breakaways if he continues to lose time. And then maybe he'll do what he did today and get some time back, either ahead of the group or in the midst of the group. Carapaz, surprised how far back he is. Same with Kamna, but I suppose he's riding for Dumoulin. And yeah, Bernal, 6 minutes. Sivakov, 6 minutes. There was the former race leader down to 18th, just like that. And with Bernal not riding for the race, then I'm in a really good position for the under 25s. I mean, McNulty, there's no way McNulty's going to beat me. It's Higuita, the only one that I have to worry about to claim the under 25s for this race, apparently. If Ineos is in fact riding for Froome. As a team, we're all the way down in 16th already, though. Really shows you who's the stronger team. Euskadi in third. Wow. That is so ridiculous. That podium is poor. And taking third on a stage is seen as poor. There's no world where that's poor. Unless you are 99% the favorite and the guy or girl with 1% of a chance ends up the victor, and it's a two-person race and you finished second with a 99% chance of winning, that's poor. That's not the scenario I'm in. We only managed to get 6 points. Second place overall, third on the stage, and I pick up 6 points. Yeah, really, really would love to see that fixed for next year. Which is getting awfully close to coming out. Turn of the month, 65 points. We're actually close to leveling up now. Not sure there's attribute points coming up. I think it's just a skill point, so really doesn't mean anything right now other than long-term gaining points, gain points, so that we can eventually get to the next level. That comes with attribute points. I think it might be level 30. Next stage is something or another. The individual time trial is just a stage or two away. Stage 9. Punchy, yeah. Not much going on there. You know what? Not much. Let's just bypass. I might gain a few seconds, but there's not. Take my chances on that. There's nothing doing for that stage. 7th, 10 seconds behind with Higuita Quintana. Adam and Simon Yates at the front. Okay. Win some, lose some. Look who wasn't there, though. At all. I don't even see him. Did he finish the stage? Oh, I think I just saw it. Did I just see it? There it is. Chris Froome, 30 seconds behind. So we actually pulled back 20 seconds. Gained a little, lost a little. We're at minute 22. Yates still in 3rd. Higuita now 4th. Oh, sorry. I guess that is a switch. I considered Yates basically 3rd. He was a few seconds behind Higuita. Landa, there's Simon up in 6th. And we get a little further into this race. Part of the reason why I'm opting to quick sim these stages a little more frequently right now, I'm ready to get to that next season. I really am. I know we're in La Vuelta right now, and it's a big race, obviously one of the big 3. But at the same time, I've got a weak team around me. It's going to be a struggle to maybe win this race, and maybe we do. So late on, we slow down. But for La Vuelta, I've never claimed any jerseys. So we're looking for a first. It looks like the under-25s could be ours this year. But I've kind of got one foot already into next season at this point. Everyone, and their mother, and their brother, their dad, their sister, their nieces, their nephews, their grandparents, their friends, their frenemies, everyone decided that they wanted to be in the breakaway today. Breakaway was getting insanely large, insanely quick, to the point where the peloton blew up trying to chase it back down. And I started that chase, but I was not alone in that chase. The breakaway then began to crumble because of the intensity of the chase and their effort to get away in the first place. And in the end, we settled on what was still a massive breakaway group of 33 riders who have now a 3-minute lead. They were out to a little over 4. We've only pulled back 1 minute so far, but there hasn't been much climbing to do until now. We have 2 big climbs today. First one that we're just about to the base of, 9.4 kilometers, 7.2% average gradient. It's mostly straight up before a little respite before the top, and then we go up again. Final climb, 15K, 6% average gradient, and that one really doesn't start until about 8K to go. Bit of a false climb first. Already some fatigue setting in, and we've only just started the climb. My help. It's Auden, but he's struggling. And there's no help behind that. Durbridge straight out the back. 101 riders left in the peloton. He wasn't even tired when he got dropped. He's just going his pace up the climb. $7K to go. Oh, nope. There he goes. 5.5K to go to the top. And we are catching those breakaway riders now, and the peloton is thinning out. 70 riders. Smith, hey, good to see ya. Good to see you for just a moment to go out the back.
Mark Soler goes into the attack.
60 riders. We're almost to the first part of the climb. Be a wrap. Little downhill coming.
Counter-attack by Tim Valence.
There's the leaders going for the top of the climb. And we're down to 50 now. 1K to go to the top. And I'd like to do a little something here if I can make it happen. Just bridge this gap over the top to this group.
So now it's the descent. It's less physically exhausting.
Trying to make contact here. There we go. None of them want to work though.
Well and maintain a good position on the bike.
Let's just go into maintain position. It's 30 seconds over the guys behind us, but I need to recover. See if Yates and Hagita do something, because they did make it into this group. Grab ourselves some water. It's only 7, so there we go. Hands straight up in the air. 22K to go. Again, we're going to have a little false climb starting at 15K. And it is pretty steep, but then it's a good little descent again before we actually go up. Meantime, get some good recovery in. And we still have that gap. 44 riders chasing us. We're a half minute ahead of them. And then still a big gap in front of us. 3:44, so we actually didn't even gain anything over that climb. We actually are, 20 seconds further out than we were to the front? And to the front, it's hard to say where that might be right now. But Yates, Hagita, and I in this group. We're in a strong position potentially.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Hagita attacking.
Attacked by Rohan Dennis.
And now it's the two of us.
Broken by Mark Soler.
And he attacks again.
Counter-attack by Adam Yates.
Sit up here. And now it's my turn.
Things are hotting up at the front.
Let's just ride our pace, make contact, recover for a moment. And you guys are too slow.
10 kilometers to the finish
And
line.
make contact to the back of the group. This is a good time to leave them behind once again.
Attacked by
And now
Rohan
it's
Dennis.
Hagita and I. We're going to go over the top here in just a moment.
Watch out, the team leader is falling behind.
Nice if he would put a little work in. We'll at least get some red bar back on this descent. Here's Uman. They caught up to us. Just 38 riders though. 32 riders. 8K to go.
Fall in a pack. Apparently, the leader is on the ground. And they keep on attacking. Anyone that's low on gas definitely won't be able to keep up.
Alright, let's just ride our pace. Gap these guys. Hagita is up ahead.
Going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%. The riders are entering the last
5%. We're in the steepest part right now. Sorry, not 5%. 5K to go. There's the banner. Into the snow. There's Froome. He's attacking. I don't have the energy to follow right now. But McNulty? What? These guys are riding away from me a little bit. 3K to go. This is the end of the steepest section though, so the time gaps won't get huge. Gel just now kicks in. Well, that took a long time. Minute behind, and that gap is growing, but behind me it's also growing. Froome and McNulty. Guys definitely focused on this race. Final 100 meters. Higuita and Froome, and then Ciccone, Soler, McNulty. I got 6th on the stage. I was over 2 minutes behind Higuita. Frele, Pino, Ravasi. Big gaps behind us is good. A lot of guys taking themselves out of contention. McNulty move it up a little bit. Soler, Ciccone, non-factors. So Higuita and Froome. Suddenly it's looking like a 3-man race, and those two having a little bit of an edge, but in the long term, they should be able to beat them. I did a little too much too early in today's stage because of the big gap and trying to break away early, only to have it covered off. If I would have just stayed patient, waited till later, and then broke myself, I probably could have been closer to the front, but at the same time, we would have had smaller gaps to the guys behind. So, opening up on the rest of the field, but hurting myself with the other top 2 contenders. So, you got one hand giveth, one hand taketh. Little good, little bad. I do think in the long term, Higuita and Froome are quite beatable. But they're clearly in form. Clearly. They are on a fitness peak right now. That's 100% no doubt. Otherwise, they would not have made it to that point. We're past the time cutoff here. These last few riders. Last 5 should all have separate times. Froome well behind, 11 seconds down. 40 to the other. They're all, McNulty lucks out a little bit there. I end up at 2:10, but then it's over a minute behind that, and even bigger for most of the guys. So now we're looking at Froome still in the race lead, Higuita in second. I'm at 3.5 minutes behind, but I can definitely make up a good chunk of that, especially with the time trial coming, and Higuita only a 64. So he's going to have an awful time. Froome could actually put up a really good time. He's similar to us in the time trial rating, and he's clearly in form, but Higuita's going to lose a ton of that time there. So Froome right now becoming the big contender, the big one to watch out for. In terms of our gap behind us, it's McNulty, who's almost 2 minutes back. I'm not worried about him long term. He's decent, and he'll stick around the top 10, and he's clearly in form. This is a great race for him, but the Euskadi rider is not going to compete for the podium. Adam Yates, over 2 minutes behind. Not a great time trialist. Haig is almost 4 minutes behind me. Gegenhardt, Landa, Simon Yates, Pino, all well back. So really, all I have to do now is look forward. Higuita, as long as I don't lose much time to him on other climbs, I'll crush him on the time trial. Froome's going to be a little bit trickier, meaning I think I'm well on my way to a podium, which was a little surprising at the start of this race, but I was thinking maybe third. I was thinking whoever the Ineos leader is and whoever the Movie Star leader are. Well, the Movie Star leader's a couple spots back. They haven't done that well, Adam Yates. But Froome clearly came to win this race. And again, I end up with 0 points because I'm on the podium and took 6th on the stage, and that's worth nothing. That triggers me every time. Every flipping time. So on to stage 11. I think it is the time trial. It is 38 kilometers. This is a great chance to move right back up into second. It would have been nice if I was still with those guys and hadn't lost that time, because then I could be competing for getting inside of a minute of Froome and then distancing Higuita instead of having to just get ahead of him. But it is what it is. We at least distanced everybody else, and that was kind of my objective there. Now I need to start focusing on just hanging with those guys, because after that stage, we're going to be in a strong second place with pretty good gaps behind us, meaning we can just focus on staying with Froome, stay with Froome, stay with Froome, and then attack Froome late and just chip away at his lead. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.